We welcome fertility specialist Dr. David Knight back to talk about falling pregnant or the difficulties some women are having. Welcome back.
Thank you, Suzie. Don't you look fabulous?
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you so much. Now, what are some of the reasons why women do have difficulty falling pregnant?
The common ones we think about are the older women get. And there's lots of stuff about that at the moment. We know about stuff in regards to their weight and those sorts of issues. We talked about polycystic ovarian syndrome last time. In the old days, it was about sexually transmitted diseases and blocking tubes. And men obviously can have sperm problems as well. So they're the main broad categories that we talk about.
Now, what about mentally? Can it all be in our head?
I don't think it's all in our head, but I think it's really important that people pay attention to their head stuff. We know that women who, and I hesitate to use the word relax and get over it, but women who have a better approach to life with regard to coping with things are more likely to get pregnant if they're doing IVF.
Why is that?
Well, it's to do with the body's flight and fight response. When we get stressed or we're in a situation, it causes the body stress, and the body actually works better to get away from things like saber-toothed tigers. All right, so you've got some bits of the body that are really going well, like the mind I'm noticing, and I'm running. But if there's some really cute lady there that says, come over here, and you know, if I'm being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, I'm not going there. What happens is that stress causes cortisol to be released in our body. The cortisol is one hormone that can have bad effects on eggs. And they just don't grow properly during a cycle. Infertility in itself is really stressful. Our society says if you're not having babies, you're not worth as much as other people. And they feel that. And people in those situations don't get the support they often need from friends and family who just don't understand what they're going through. So it's something that's really important for us to help them gain skills to deal with that whilst we're also dealing with the medical aspects of it.
When you're saying stress and to relax, I've found in a lot of cases that if women adopt, for instance, or if they've gone on IVF and they've carried a child and then suddenly they fall pregnant, or they've adopted a child and then suddenly they find that they're expecting. Has that got a lot to do with them?
I haven't seen the data on that, but gee whiz, that's something that's also crossed my mind. I think that's really important, that their ability to cope with life, because getting a child through IVF really helps people learn things, and it helps people deal with a lot of situations. And then when they've got what they're after, the next time round, those previous "it's never going to happen" thoughts tend not to be there. Fertility treatment, it really is a journey, and we call it a journey. Most of the obstacles we put in our own way, so the roadblocks are ours. And I try and help couples coming through by teaching them ways to recognise their own roadblocks and take them away.
So what should women, or in this case I guess couples, do?
A lot of this sort of stuff is about really examining how we think, because our thoughts lead to our feelings. And if our thoughts aren't right, if they're factually incorrect, if it's a bad thought, it leads to a bad feeling. If we're not sure that something is going to happen, we make it up. We put it there. But we don't make up good things. It's always, oh, look, it's never going to happen. My eggs are terrible. And it may not be true, but we're going to feel bad. So it's about consciously examining those thoughts. Cognitive behaviour therapy is one of the approaches. It's fantastic for me, and that's one of the things that I use for that sort of stuff too.
We're going to take a short break, and on the other side of it we've been dipping into our web mailbag, so there's a couple of questions for you.
Excellent. Thank you, Suzie.
Thank you. Stay around. Dr. David Knight is next.